Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to the channel today. Today I'm going to work on an Etiolated Crassula Capitella Campfire. I've had this out all summer and it's gotten very stretched. I find that word etiolated very hard to say. It's gotten stretched. I've got to bring that in for the winter, so really got to do some trimming on it. So join me today and we're going to get it trimmed.
Now I've got this tender succulent to bring inside. Well, really it's an arrangement of several. I think that one is a topsy-turvy. It's been outside for just about all of the year, and I'm getting new ones coming under it. A couple of dead ones that I'm going to pull off. Let me see if I can get a good grip on that. Oh, I might have to set my camera on a tripod. But this one whose name escapes me every time I want to show it, this red one, sat under the deck for a period of time and it etiolated. You can see where it was growing very closely together and then it slowly got farther and farther apart. It stayed healthy. It bloomed, and then when I finally got to set it outside in the sun again, it got close together again. But overall, let me step back, you can see how the plant looks very awkward with a gigantic, probably 2-foot long extension. That one's about 1 foot long. So I'm not going to keep it that way to take it in. It's doing real well. It's sprouting some new pieces. I've got the, I think that's an ogre ears right there with it. And then some of these bird's nest sansevieria. But I've got to clean this up to bring it in the house over the winter. So I'm going to be snipping and butchering that one, which is unfortunate. But what are you going to do?
Well, I've got her all inside now and set up. You can see how she just twists and turns, and we've really got our work cut out for us, but basically I'm just going to chop her into pieces.
Now what I'm going to do this morning, I've had this in for a little while so I can get ready to trim it, and you can see the etiolation is happening, even worse inside. So what I'm going to do is get this trimmed off today. I'm going to save some of the pieces and try to root them, but the rest I'll probably just discard. Some of the spots are trying to extend out and grow new areas. I don't know if you can see that very plainly right here, but I'm getting a spot trying to grow out where the flowers were forming. I do want to kind of control the plant a little bit and keep it tight like it used to be. At least this tight as it was, growing a little bit earlier. I want it to stay at least that tight because I don't like these tall branches that are so wide. So I'm going to get the shears, the same type shears that I used on the jade plant, and work on this one. Now this is my arrangement that I've brought in from outside that's very overgrown. And you can see the long strands, how it's grown upward, separating out and etiolating all the way through. This one, a spot, has even tried to grow a new little branch here. But I'm not going to save the whole thing, but I am going to cut off a whole lot. Now I've got the same shears that I used for my jade plant, and I'm just going to cut real low. I think I'm going to go below this spot where the new branch comes out and just remove that. You can see that big whole branch that I've cut off. And then in addition to that, I want to cut off these two branches. You can see how etiolated they are. That one, and then this one. So this will be my new arrangement. All the way around. I've got the, I think this one was E.T.'s Fingers. Might be the ogre ears, I forget which one. And my topsy-turvy, it's got a whole new branches, but I want to get that color back in on these. So it's going to go over here under my lights and hope that we can keep the bright sunlight red on this campfire. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use perlite because that would retain too much water. Well, at this point in time, what I want is to have the vermiculite so that I can have some kind of drainage. But I'm only going to do about, I don't know, maybe 8 of these, because I'm not going to get wild. There's just so much room that I have. So I'm going to use that to put the cuttings in. Let me get my lid back in the pot. And then we're going to use this for my cuttings to propagate. Okay, now to propagate these, I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to do some because I don't need this many campfire. But what I'll do is take a section of the leaf. I've pulled off a pair of leaves here. Gives me a little bit of stem and a spot for the roots to grow. I'm putting it down into dry vermiculite because since I'm just doing this right now, I'm not giving them time to callus over. So I want to put them into dry vermiculite so that they will callus over. And we'll see if I can get any new growth out of these. Let me pull that leaf off, and I won't water these for about 3 or 4 days, I'll say. I think I'll go this one, pull off that leaf, that leaf, that leaf, and that leaf. And then for these, I'm just going to try the leaf itself. Let me get a good leaf. Twist it a little to try to get that whole little smiley hook. And I'll put those down in there. And then they will callus over in that dry vermiculite. No water yet. That one looks like it might be a little bit old in age to try to grow a new one. So let me use a new fresh leaf. There. So now I've got 8 new starts. We'll see how these do. Now I'm going to take these and maybe just put them into a big container, and if I should get a whole new lot of growth in them, more's the better. Just cut these apart, and we're going to use these to stick in a big bowl of cuttings just to see if I can get any new growth. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to use my Hypertufa bowl. I've got drainage in it. This is a small one made from a cereal bowl earlier this summer. And now I'm going to get some soil and some crushed granite in it so it'll be well draining. Okay, I'll be right back. You don't need to turn it off.
Just having my feet. Okay, you have to put that in the behind the scenes. I put my finger just.
Okay, can you see me?
Okay, yeah, I can see you. 3, go.
Okay, here's my soil, and I've put the crushed granite in it, so it'll be very well draining. And then these cuttings that I've had drying out, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of plop them in. They may or may not make it, I'm not sure, but we're just going to put a lot in there. Maybe we'll have a tray of these growing, maybe not, but I just want to experiment and see what happens. We'll just get a tray full of them. These older leaves we'll take out and just try rooting them right directly in a Hypertufa bowl for them to grow. I'd love it if they kept their color, but maybe that's just not meant to happen. And I don't think I can propagate anymore. This is too much anyway for me to have. If it ends up all of these living, I'll have way too many. Whoops, way too many. But there we go. They feel just slightly limp. So I'm only going to mist this slightly, just enough to hydrate them a little. That'll be with this, just to hydrate them. I would have thought the little flowers would have died by now, but they're fine. I have not seen any bugs on this, so let's hope we don't have any. But there's going to be my little Hypertufa bowl of my campfire cuttings. But hope this works. Thanks for joining me, and I'll let you know what happens.